corporate life is not for me. I was born to be an entrepreneur. I don't do the 9 to 5. But I was like, okay, let's just go back to kind of real life, right? And my 8-year-old sat me down and she said, Mom, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm looking for a job. Like, we need to, get more money in for bills and stuff like that. And she goes, you have a job.
Welcome to the Utah Business Spotlight. I'm your host, Peter Anthony. I am super excited. I am here with my friend Carla. She is the founder of Liffcakeparties.com, and it's Liff cakeparties.com. I love what she does. Everybody loves a good party. Yeah. Carla, welcome. First, like, subscribe, share, tell us something, comment, but really, support your local Utah businesses. They need it. They deserve it. And we are so happy to be here, Carla. And you've been ducking me, man. I feel like Rocky, and you're ducking me. But you're finally here. Yeah. Welcome. Tell us about. I love putting on a great party. I love the idea of jumping in. Tell us what Liffcake Parties does.
So we are a luxury, and I love that word, luxury, because that sets it apart, right? Because anybody can do a party, but we make it luxury, and we also make it stress-free. And what does that mean? So Peter, you come to me with a party, and you say, Carla, this is what I want to do. This is my vision, right? I don't know how I'm going to execute this, but this is what I want to have done. Myself, and I do have a few girls that help me on the side as well, that we get together, we go through it, we execute that. But here's the thing. Let's say if you came to me with a Disney princess party, right? Everybody does Disney princess parties. We make it more unique to what you're looking for.
Very cool, which is part of the luxury.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
And whenever you can personalize and tailor something, it becomes part of the luxury, because just going and checking off a box that says Disney Princess Parties is not in and of itself luxurious, but the unique things that you bring to the table within that make it more luxurious. And I love that you have a big team that really gets in there. What would somebody expect if I went to one of your parties? Am I going to have to clean up?
Nope. So we come in, we set up, so we go from A to Z. So we have multiple packages actually, where we can either come in and set up from A to Z, where we take care of the setup, we take care of the planning side, and then also we monitor the event throughout, which means that throughout the party where they're cleaning up for you, we're making sure that plates are removed, we're doing the whole 9.
That's the luxury, guys. So, and there's a huge differentiator, because so many people will say, oh yeah, we dropped off the bouncy house. And then it's like, okay, cool. I don't like spending time at my own party. I love hosting the party. I love getting the food, but it's a drag to be cleaning up, because I'm Italian. I'm going to tell you, Carl, I am Italian. I'm talking to you right now. I love being Italian, but that comes with a responsibility of feeding many courses. You're going to have if you come to my home, you're going to have pasta, you're going to have meat, you're going to have salad, you're going to have appetizers, you're going to have charcuterie, you're going to have 5 desserts, then we're going to go back to pasta. It's awesome, but it creates work. So my children have been great. Now that they're young teenagers, they love that party too. And we've all learned. But in the salon industry, one of the things that, which was my background, it was the same thing, is there would never be a piece of, I think that takes away from the luxury experience when you're looking at discarded plates. It makes people feel like it's time to go home. And I don't want them to go home. I want to have to kick them out. Because it's so wonderful and beautiful. And I don't want, although I do like when people help participate in the cleanup, because there's an aspect of give back to that. I want them just to enjoy themselves. And I think that's what Liffcake does. Yeah.
So we come in, we make sure that everything looks aesthetically pleasing, right? Because again, like I mentioned before, anybody can do a party, right? Yeah. Anybody can do an event. But when you are able to make sure those little details. So if you came to me and you said, Carla, I'm doing a corporate party or a corporate event and I need candy. Does that just mean that you want just candy spread out? No, you want your black and your red and your whites and you want your branding colors. You want all these things. So all the way down to those little details we pay attention to.
And that's what makes it luxury. Yeah. Because though for us, I have a sign in my office that says, everything matters.
Yep.
Everything means something.
Love it. I need that sign.
Yeah. Everybody needs one because everything does matter. Everything is in the details. And the details tell more of the story than the overall.
Yep.
Anybody can pay for overall.
Yep.
But the details are what allows the conversation to happen. So I love that. And you really take the best of what people do and help them make it shine, especially in the corporate. So you mentioned corporate parties.
Yeah.
Is that one of your specialties? It sounds like corporations really need you.
They do. They really do. And here's the thing. When we started off 4 years ago, we were doing just kid parties. And actually my team and I sat down the other day when we were going through our 2026 books of our bookings. We looked and there is no kid parties. I have 0 kid parties. We haven't done a kid party since last February.
Wow.
And we only had 1 last year. So
Mom, start calling her up.
Hit me up. Let's go. But I say that because yes, a corporation, you need a bomb party. You need to shower your employees. You need to make your employees feel like they're loved.
And do you help with the whole thing, concept to completion? You help sourcing the right gifts, the right grab bags, the right vendors,
the right everything. So let's say if there's an auction, let's say if there's a casino table that we need, we bring all that in for you. So we make it, again, what you're wanting, not what we think, right? We bring the expertise, but we want to take your concepts and make it to what you want it to look like.
Wow. So many people have homogenized business, right? Because for the last, since Facebook and social media, you have a lot of gurus saying, process. If you want, McDonald's has a process. That's why they're McDonald's. Everybody who's successful has clear processes and homogenize your products and just give them this. And then, but there's something to be said for listening to the client and then helping them achieve something that's not within the box. I love that. I love that you do that. And you have such great energy, man.
No, I love it. And I love what I do. Like my word is passion and attentionality. And so when I meet with every client, that's what you get from me. I want that passion to show. I want that drive to show, right? Like my clients laugh all the time because the minute you hang out with me and you say this, it's a go, it's like all of a sudden the energy starts to flowing, right? Yeah. All of a sudden you're like, they get a Pinterest board and they get this and they get that, right? And then it's like, oh my gosh, Carla, okay, well, whoa. The event's not until September, but it's all about planning for me. I want you to feel, again, we go back to that word, luxury, right? When you think of something that's luxury, it's something that's exciting, but it's something that is definitely stress-free for you. You can show up and it's like an awe moment. And that's what I want with every event and every wedding, every party, everything I do, I want there to be an awe moment.
I love that. And I think it's important because so many details have been overlooked. And there's a cost to details. But you can make something beautiful, pay attention to all the details reasonably, and it'll still be ridiculously cool.
Yeah.
It's not, and I think so where I come from originally in New York, Long Island, the number one industry, East Coast, right, Brooklyn actually, but the number one industry on Long Island when we had our salons there were weddings, and we would do probably 150 weddings a year.
Yeah.
It's just tremendous. And then I owned a DJ company an entertainment company for about 12 or 13 years. And again, mostly weddings, and some parties, but mostly weddings in that area, just because of when I grew up, right? As a baby boomer, lots of weddings. But with my entertainment company, we did something very different because most people hired a band, and we created an experience because we were also DJing at the nightclubs. So we created that really cool bespoke musical experience that we brought to the table. And then the same thing when we were doing hair, we never just did something normal.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yep.
And it didn't cost them anymore. It was still expensive because we were expensive.
Yep. That's how it goes.
But it was so cool. And I love that that's what you're doing, that you're really putting it together. Even when you just said, and I can tell by just mentioning, well, the colors of the candy, you think of everything. Tell us the coolest party you've ever thrown.
Let's see, man. I was thinking about this. I think the coolest one that we've done is we did they didn't want it to be Wonka theme, right? Because of trademark issues. But it was like a Candyland / Wonka theme, but their branding colors were white, yellow, and black. And it was a corporate office. It was an employee appreciation. It was over 2 days. We had over 500 employees out. And we made it just that. Like they walked in, like their break room was turned into like a grown-up carnival. That's what one of the ladies described it as, because it was like the balloons and we incorporated the employers, the company's branding marks and like different quotes throughout their company and different things that they've done over the last past year. But then gave them that candy experience, right? That was the Wonka feel. So we had like a chocolate fountain and like all the different kind of toppings you can think of for chocolate. It's just, again, those little details, right? Like making sure that like, it wasn't over the top where it made them feel like they were a child, but it brought that childlike mentality out of them and allow their employees to escape for a minute, right?
Love it. And it was white, yellow, and black?
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. I love that.
So I think that was my favorite event because and I always look at something to like stretch my limit, right? Like I'm all about that. Like what is going to stretch my vision? And I think that really did. It showed me like, hey, we are a small business, but we are not a small vision, right? Like we can go out and we can brand and we can make this big corporation look amazing.
Let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
I have 2 questions because I want to be really cognizant of our time together.
Okay.
The first question is, was there a moment that you in your company that it got so hard that you didn't know if you were going to make it?
I actually had that in year 2. I actually was ready to close doors. I had the talk with my husband, who's that silent business partner, right? And we were like, okay, this is just not working. We're just not hitting the targets that we want to do. And I'm going to tell you what pulled me out of my funk. And a lot of people are like, wait, what? Like when I say this, it was my 8-year-old daughter. I was sitting there and I was like, I started applying for jobs, right? And if you know me, corporate life is not for me. I was born to be an entrepreneur. I don't do the 9 to 5. But I was like, okay, let's just go back to kind of real life, right? And my 8-year-old sat me down and she said, Mom, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm looking for a job. Like we need to, get more money in for bills and stuff like that. And she goes, you have a job. And I was like, wait, what? Like, I don't, She goes, yes, you do. You have a company, Liffcake Parties. Why aren't you doing that? And it was like that aha moment. It was like that gut punch that I needed, right?
Of course.
Hearing from a kid, like someone who's been watching me grow this and seeing all the hard work that I'm putting into it. And she's like, Mommy, if you just stopped doing everything else and just put your full focus in this, it's going to work.
And it's interesting because probably part of your full focus wasn't actually, so here's the interesting part in the dynamics if you're listening.
Yeah.
She started picking up the phone to apply for jobs. She could have easily picked up the phone and looked for customers. And the effort that you're going to put into trying to save yourself is the effort that you needed to put in to try to save your company.
Correct.
And the effort that the time, effort, and energy that you put into trying to figure out how to get out of the problem, you should have put in to avoid the problem in the first place.
Exactly.
So I love that. Absolutely. What if you had a little piece of advice for an entrepreneur? There's a lot of entrepreneurs watch this show. What would you tell them?
Number one rule is don't give up. Find your community. Find your people. Find your support team. It's not always your family. It's
never your family.
It's never your family. They're always the ones that are like,
right?
How's that little small business that you're doing, right? Like, and they don't see the big picture out of it. But find your people. Find your network. Really get out there. Talk to people and use your network. Don't just find a network. Use your network. Go to them and say what your goals are, what your dreams are, because that is how you're going to win.
I love it. I love it. For everybody listening, leaders aren't the ones with the greatest resources. Leaders are the ones who are the most resourceful. Mm-hmm. Carla, thank you for spending time with us today on the Utah Business Spotlight. I am really hyped. Where can people find you?
So you can go to our Instagram, which is Liffcake Parties. That's Liffcake Parties with an S at the end on Instagram, or you can go to liffcakeparties.com. That's our website. I love to do fun TikToks. So we are on TikTok as well. And so, yeah, we have different social media platforms, but those are our top 3.
If you're a company or if you're a parent and you want to put together a killer party that really is going to be memorable forever, you need Carla, you need Liffcake Parties. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, get out there, help support Utah business.
Thank you so much.